So a couple of people did not understand or do not understand the reason for my recent outburst about Jude Okoye. Before the comments that I made, someone called me. I don't know if I should mention the person's name, but he called me.
All right, so I am actually the someone that called Cynthia Morgan. Now, I think today we'll just put an end to this Cynthia Morgan and her former record label boss, Jude Okoye, matter to rest. For starters, Cynthia Morgan, VeryDarkMan, I have your catalog and I'll give it to you. But me, you have to tender an apology to Jude.
Point. I think VDM, being a social crusader, is doing too much. There are times that you just have to allow sleeping dog lies. And I think that VDM sometimes, even if you are the oppressed, and VDM sees, advantage with your oppressor, VDM may end up supporting the oppressor. In this Mohbad Wunmi's case, for instance, now I feel that VDM is doing too much. Yes, there was so much hualu-balu about the fact that, maybe Naira Marley had a hand in his death and all of that. And then that drowned the situation of maybe it was the nurse who, pied Mohbad with the injection. But the truth that now that Naira Marley's case has settled does not mean that people should not come and start pointing fingers at the widow that she killed her husband. After all, she was not the only one in the house. The brother was there, Adura was there, 2 other persons were there, and the father told them Mohbad should go and be buried without accusing anybody, without making an arrest. So why all of a sudden now trying to put the girl just because the clout that time was that it was Naira Marley that had the hand in it, and he now trying to come and prove that it wasn't Naira Marley has now taken it far beyond how he should do. Now let's look at the Cynthia Morgan's case and Jude Okoye, her former manager. Now she said, or former record label boss, she said that the guy ripped her off and all of that. And yes, I understand if VDM is trying to come and defend the man because the guy may not have a voice, and as a result of that he may have to come and stand for him. But the man does not even want problem, so he has given the catalog to VDM to give to her, saying that it was only $3,000 that she made her entire streaming with him up to date, and that he should give the catalog to her, that he was no longer interested. And the fact that in their contract it was stated that they will provide 50% of the money for production, and then once everybody removes that 50%, they will now share profit. He was the only one bringing 50%, and as a result of that, that was why he was taking 50% of the revenue, and whatever remains they will share, apart from the streaming and the stage performances and all of that. And he also said that she didn't live up all to her bargain, the part of her bargain, that number one, she was supposed to produce an album that will have at least 40 minutes of record time, meaning that if she will be having like 3-minute songs, she would have at least like 13 or 14. But she never did that. That each time they told her to come and produce an album, she would say that she wanted to produce singles, hot singles, banger singles, and that the girl with the biggest behind and all of that. All those things were working for her until a lot of problems now came. VDM was able to point out a lot of challenges. That even the part where she said that the man took the name Cynthia Morgan from her, it wasn't the man. And VDM showed us a video where in 2016 August, she was the one who said that she was changing her name to Morida or Moria, something like that. So all those are true, and what VDM said about her are true. But the only part I have a big problem with is the fact that VDM is saying that she must apologize before he will give her the catalog. But he also later took that back to say that okay, even if she doesn't apologize, he would give her the catalog like that. And of course, Cynthia Morgan is somebody that will not take that easy, and that will definitely now put VDM in the mix. And I know VDM, he will go all out on her, try to rubbish her for that, try to show how irrelevant she is and all of that. And so to me, I think VDM is taking sides because he has met with Jude Okoye. He feels sorry for Jude Okoye's situation and is now making it look like the girl was the one who was just wrong. But this same guy made it talk about Jude Okoye. His brother has sued him. His brother has said that Northside Entertainment, it's supposed to be Northside Entertainment. They now went to open Northside Music to be siphoning the money that was supposed to go to the 3 brothers. In the end, that kind of person is having case with EFCC. So you cannot just come because you met with him, you now take his words hook, line and sinker that you are now looking like a mumu. No, that's being emotionally suspect. because you are allowing the guy, play on your intelligence. If you are as intelligent as you are, you should not have allowed Jude Okoye play on your intelligence in that manner to now make you want to come and look at Cynthia Morgan as a culprit. And I think VDM should also take it easy. When a person is down, don't try to kick the person for that down. Cynthia Morgan is already down. Don't try to kick her down. Look at the things he said. He said, number one, that allegations of Cynthia Morgan is seen as chasing clout, and that Jude Okoye, accusing Jude Okoye, but without wanting to take responsibility for her failure. And for instance, now she was supposed to produce 40-minute album, she failed to do that. He also said a refusal to move on. He commented on that the fact that you've had issues with your past label does not mean that you should not continue with the drama and refusing to move on, and that you should work on yourself and try to reinvent and bring out new things. That after all, it was even you who said that you were changing your name in 2016, not the record label taking the name from you, and that she's trying to play the victim, and that the industry is responsible for her situation, that the music industry has teamed up against her because she has issues with this man Jude Okoye, which is the same thing that Mehdi said and all of that, but that she should forget about all those things, stop playing the victim and move on. And that she has this entitlement mentality, and this entitlement mentality will make her burn bridges in the future, because instead of her to be thinking of how to collaborate with people, she's trying to allow people to sympathize with her. And when people sympathize with you, that will not put food on your table, because in the end you are not producing song. And that she's wasting opportunity, and that she's a once talented person, but now her ego is coming in her way and blocking her from moving forward. And then finally, he made statements about call for accountability, that she should stop blaming others for her success or her problem, and that she should try to reinvent herself and come out better with bangers. So to me, I love the way he would have loved to advise her, but the fact that he's now saying that she would have to apologize before she get the catalog, and though he's saying everything, you just know that he's on the side of Jude Okoye already. And he who must come to good must come in clean hands. Jude Okoye already has his hands stained and tainted by the accusation of his own brother Peter Okoye, and by a former music associate. I don't want to say signee, because they said they never signed him, Mehdi. So that means, why didn't they sign Mehdi? They were just basically using him and saying they were producing songs for him. And Mehdi, as at that time, we've seen that he said he was on the same level or even higher than Wizkid and Davido. Look at his life now. So in the end, Cynthia Morgan trying to play the victim, trying to be entitled and all of that is understandable, but VeryDarkMan should also come from an angle where he will try to understand the girl. Why not organize an interview for her? This is the same way he goes after Wunmi. I know nobody is paying him to do all these things, but it's just that if it's for you, you are messed up, and if you are against him, you are also messed up. And Cynthia Morgan is gradually falling into the black book, and I heard that Cynthia Morgan has since responded to his accusation and all of that, but let's see how it plays out. So VDM needs to take things easy. He's doing too much, in my own opinion, and that's why people are beginning to drag him even more on Mohbad's case now. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section. I remain your boy Ernest Okoye. Please remember to like, share, subscribe and comment. Signing out. Peace. Now let's listen to the other parts of his arguments, and let me know your thoughts after that.
I felt somehow. You know why? Because number one, that issue of say the Naim collects a name, he collected the name Cynthia Morgan, and when he showed evidence that it was her that started the O's Madrina, I feel somehow. The issue of the royalty, where they say Cynthia Morgan don't make hundred thousands of dollars and Jude Okoye, I felt somehow. And then this part that he showed me that she did not give him an album, I felt somehow, right? And I asked him a question: why you no come online come talk? They said these people get followers, person. Wetin you want talk online where anybody go here? And they've already demonized him. And I said, okay. So, okay, how far the split, the money percentage that you'll be getting? And I said, thank God that you asked. He now brought the contract again and he now showed me. Now this part make me call Cynthia Morgan. Now, let me read that part of the deal. As you can see, cost. Company shall be responsible for 50% costs incurred in video production and all major costs in promoting and branding artists. Company's production, promotion, manufacturing, and all other bona fide expenses relating to artists are deemed recoupable from gross income. Artists will be responsible for the 50% balance as a new artist with no financial backing. Northside Music could put 100% and deduct the 50% expenses from gross profit received from artist earning.